Hi, welcome to the Brief Book Reviews channel, otherwise known as an old guy reviews the book that he's read this week. So what's the old guy read this week? Well, the book I read this week is this one. It's called Famous Last Words by author Gillian McAllister. It was published by Penguin Michael Joseph as a hardback here in the UK on the 30th of January 2025. It's the author's ninth book. Previous ones have been thrillers, and this one is no different. So what's it all about here, you say? Book kicks off with a story of a lady called Camilla, Cam. Cam's a little bit nervous. It's going to be her first day at work today. She's had maternity leave. Her daughter Polly is going to be taken to nursery, and Camilla is returning to work. Cam's returning to work. She works as a literary agent, and she's looking forward to go back to work, but also a bit conflicted about having put Polly in a nursery and worried about Polly. Her husband Luke, who's normally about, is missing. Not missing in a totally missing sense. It's just that she's thinking, I thought he would be here. But Luke's a ghostwriter, and very often he works at a co-working space over in Bermondsey. So she thinks, he's probably gone off to work, but a bit strange as it's my big day, first day back at work. She leaves him a voicemail message and thinks, he'll probably get back to me later. And notes that there's a note on the kitchen table, a sort of cryptic note from Luke that he'd started to write and clearly not finished. But she thinks, must get on with it. Need to get back to work. Need to take Polly to the nursery, and off she goes. They welcome Cam back at work. They're pleased to see her again, and all is going well until she sees there's rolling news coverage of a TV in the office that shows that there's been a hostage situation in Bermondsey at a warehouse. And she's thinking, that's strange. That's very often where Luke works over in Bermondsey. I'm sure he'll be all right. And then all of a sudden, a few minutes later, there are a couple of police officers at the office, and they want to see Camilla Deschamps. And they tell her that her husband Luke has been involved in the hostage situation. And she's thinking, oh no. And then, to make matters worse, they say, and P.S., Luke is the person taking people hostages. He's taken two men and a woman hostage by gunpoint at a warehouse in Bermondsey. And Camilla's saying, look, you got the wrong bloke, because Luke, he's a fun-loving family guy. He's so laid back, he's almost horizontal. No way can it be him. And it soon transpires that it is him. So a quick phone call to Camilla's sister Libby to get her to pick up Polly from the nursery, and Camilla goes off with the police officers who want more information about Luke, what he's up to, what he's been up to. They're searching the house, they've got a warrant, and all of a sudden her whole life is turned upside down. Camilla's conflicted because she thinks, look, I know Luke. No way is this Luke, and she's conflicted that, I love my husband, I know he's a good guy. How much do I tell the police? I know I've got a responsibility to, but I've also got a responsibility to my family. So there's that whole thing going on. And then we see another person in the situation, a guy called Niall, and he's a police officer, a detective, but his speciality is hostage negotiation. So the story unfolds, and it's told from the perspective of Camilla and Niall. We've got 4 acts. We start off with the hostage situation in the warehouse in Bermondsey, and then we move on to further on from that, 7 years on, we're told from the perspective of Niall and Camilla. Camilla's still trying to find out what's going on here, because this behaviour isn't like Luke. Niall is a police officer, and there's been 2 of the hostages. There were 3 hostages, a woman and 2 men. The 2 men were shot. The 2 men had never been identified, and this gnaws away at Niall, and he's thinking, his bosses don't want to spend money on resources to chase what is a cold case, but there's something not quite right with this. And sure enough, as the tale unfolds, we see Camilla noticing certain things that she'd noticed in the past with Luke that she dismissed as trivial, and then realises there's a bigger picture here. And sure enough, there is a bigger picture, and there's a conspiracy, if you will. There are other murders that are linked to this case, and that story unfolds as the book continues. So a very original plot, a very well-written thriller. You have empathy for Camilla. If I was being picky, I'd say that, there is perhaps at times a bit too much introspection from Camilla. We see what she's thinking about, this, that, and all sorts. But nevertheless, that doesn't detract from the fact this is a really good story. You won't guess to the end, who the perps are and what's behind this completely unusual behaviour. And as I said, that story is revealed as you work your way through the book. So the actual story is 389 pages, and you very often read a review of a book and say, I couldn't put it down. Well, in this case, I couldn't put this one down because I wanted to know what was going on, because this is a mystery, and you want to know why this seemingly laid-back, really good guy could commit such a dastardly crime. And all is revealed in the end, but it's a very well-written book. I'd give it 8 out of 10. I know it's only February, but without doubt the best book I've read so far this year. And I think that's probably it for this week's brief book review. Well worth the read. As I said, very original plot, well-written, pacey. Don't know who the perp is to right to the end, so all in all, a worthwhile read. So that's it for this week's brief book review. Thanks for watching. 10-10 till we do it again. Bye.